Now, that's the arrogance of those who are not projecting into the future their domination. They're very grandiose because they're so sure of it already. They have it. They have a world under a spell because it's a science which is used against the people. And for those who are hard of thinking, I'll repeat that latter part. We are an empire now. And when we act, we create our own reality. And while you're studying that reality, and that's what everybody does in all the shows, is just parrot, parrot, and parrot, the latest thing we're meant to get all hot and bothered about. And while you're studying that reality judiciously, as you will, we'll act again, creating other new realities which you can study too, and that's how things will sort out. We are history's actors, and you, all of you, will be left to just study what we do. Susskind's article was a sensation, which the paper called an intellectual scoop. Columnists and bloggers seized on the phrase reality-based community, which spread across the internet. Google had nearly 1 million hits for it in July 2007. Wikipedia created a page dedicated to it. According to Jay Rosen, professor of journalism at New York University, many on the left adopted the term proud member of the reality-based community, their blog said. The right then jeered at the left's self-description, they're reality-based, ? Yeah, right. The remarks, which were probably made by Karl Rove a few months before the Iraq War, are not just cynical and Machiavellian. They sound like they come from the theater rather than from an office in the White House. Not content with renewing the ancient problems discussed in cabinet offices, pitting idealists against pragmatists, moralists against realists, pacifists against warmongers, or in 2002, defenders of international law against supporters of the use of force, they display a new concept of the relationship between politics and reality. The leaders of the world's superpowers are not just moving away from realpolitik, but also from realism to become creators of their own reality, the masters of appearance, demanding a realpolitik of fiction. Disney to the rescue. The U.S. invasion of Iraq in March 2003 provided a spectacular illustration of the White House's desire to create its own reality. Pentagon departments, keen not to repeat the mistakes of the first Gulf War in 1991, paid particular attention to their communications strategy, as well as 500 embedded journalists integrated into sections of the armed forces. Great attention was paid to the design of the press room at U.S. Forces headquarters in Qatar. For $1 million, a storage hangar was transformed into an ultra-modern television studio with stage, plasma screens, and all the electronic equipment needed to produce videos, geographic maps, and diagrams for real-time combat. A scene in which the U.S. Army spokesman, General Tommy Franks, addressed journalists cost $200,000. One scene, and was produced by a designer who had worked for Disney, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, and the television program Good Morning America. In 2001, the White House had put him in charge of creating background designs for presidential speeches, unsurprising to those aware of the ties between the Pentagon and Hollywood. More surprising was a Pentagon decision to recruit David Blaine for interior design. He's a famous magician, famous in the U.S. for his TV show and for conjuring tricks such as levitating or being shut in a cage without food. Blaine claimed in a book in 2002 that he was a successor to Eugene Robert Houdini, a 19th century magician who agreed to go to Algeria at the French government's request to help quell an uprising by showing that his magic was better than that of the rebels. It is not known whether that is what the Pentagon expected from Blaine, but it seems that use was made of the illusionist's talents for special effects. And I'll be back with more of these effects after the following messages.